Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, on the blogger site at the archive post thingy, and any kind of updates I will go about on Twitter X platform, especially on the live stream site. Yesterday I did a live stream only on YouTube at this moment, 4K 60. Managed to get it, I think, pretty well in terms of quality. What else? But yeah, at this moment in time, I will maintain the live stream as it is for now, with 4K 60. Even the PC handled pretty well. Even though I did manage to, I had to do like 2 separate live streams yesterday because I got interrupted with some work stuff. But yeah, other than that, everything went well, at least from my side, from the backstage side. A little bit better than it used to. Again, until Rumble gets the H.265 support at least, or AV1 streaming support there, and I'm not even asking more than 1080p, but at least the codec stuff, I think I will maintain with the YouTube stuff for 2 main reasons. Is again, I can stream with a better codec at 4K 60, and in case of my footage of the recording that I do for the VODs goes kaput, at least I got kind of a backup of 4K footage to edit out the breaks and the such. So that's why I'm at this moment keeping with YouTube streaming. I might in the meantime try to make some tests with Rumble, but I don't think it will serve any kind of good quality. Serving 1080p and H.264, even with the max bitrate, I think it doesn't serve very well. People that are watching, again, this is more related to trying to stream 60 frames per second on gameplay. If it is not fluid, if it is very compressed, it's not a good experience overall. So I prefer to just at this moment in time on Rumble put the VOD stuff there. Usually I can get around 1440p, even if when I get a long time, like 3 hours and something of footage, in terms of file size, I can only put it 1080p. The 1080p quality is way better than the streaming side of things there. But yeah, regarding that, that's what I've got. Tomorrow I will resuming the Star Wars Jedi Survivor episode, and then I will see if I can manage to start uploading Dead Space Remake. I already recorded a couple of at least a couple of videos there, so I can have also some of the backlog, so I can publish on time. But yeah, basically it's the main update of the channel regarding the content that I'll be releasing. Regarding news, you got some official announcement from Intel regarding the stability issues of the 13th and the 14th generation. This is specifically to the K series because they are unlocked. I think the non-K versions are locked in terms of power limits, and even any kind of overclocking that they are locked there. I don't think they even support undervolting those Intel CPUs, but the issue here is the stability of the K versions. Again, they didn't address what the problem was. It's an oversight not addressing what the problem was. Again, I as it is, they don't want to tell the people what the issue is. But basically, my take on this, from everything that I've been seeing, even from other tech channels that do benchmarking and they know things better than me, my main take is again, Intel reached the point that they're trying to brute force themselves out of competition with AMD CPUs. And I might be put on the description below a link to the video that I saw from Hardware Unboxed. They did basically with this supposedly what they call now the default settings, Intel default values or profile or whatever they are calling now, Intel default settings. They used that reference to make again a comparison between I think it was the 14900K, if not mistaken, against the 7800X 3D, again, in terms of performance, the Intel CPU basically is basically the same. Doesn't varies pretty much. And in terms of comparison with the 7800X 3D, they maintain the same kind of relationship in terms of performance gap, uh, given that they basically, in some cases, they trade punches, let's say, and others, at least in the games tested, AMD is around 4% faster than the Intel counterpart. Doesn't mean a lot, but the fact that to produce the same kind of performance in the overall system, the way they set up there on hardware and box, the Intel CPU basically consumes 100 watts plus than the AMD part to basically do the same thing, at least in terms of gaming. I think they will launch a comparison between the 7950X with also some gaming and also some productivity benchmarks there also in a later video. But I will try to find out that video that I watched, and I will leave a link on that video below the link on this article that I usually put everything there, all the articles. I put the link on the description there. But yeah, basically they just said, okay, now the recommended Intel default settings is going to be what people should be able to enable, and this is not only for consumers, also as they got this table as a reference guide for even for the motherboard manufacturers. So yeah, it is what it is, but yeah, you will continue to see the Intel at this moment in time consuming way more wattage than the AMD counterparts there. But supposedly now got your first statements for consumers regarding this situation here. So Intel default settings, and not what it was before, Intel baseline profile. Forget about that. You have at least in this new, again, you have to download the BIOS updates there. You just need to turn on Intel default settings. Continuing with some hardware, we got finally Micron. So this is the low power DDR5X memory modules here. I've been covering this once. Again, they seem pretty good. Again, according to the specifications, they consume around almost 60% less active power. They get around 60% space savings compared to DDR5 SODIMMs, so the usual DDR modules that we are used to. And of course, it delivers at the same time higher bandwidth and dual channel support with a single module by itself. And usually they will come in between 32 and 64 gigabytes capacities, and supposedly they can even reach 7500 MTS, so megatransfers per second. Yeah, which is a huge, at least for laptops, it's a huge deal because less space, less power consumption, and they manage to even get around and get better performance. It's an excellent option now that consumers might have, and the fact that they are not soldered in the motherboard, so this is something that you can replace even if something goes wrong, or even if you want, for example, let's say changing from 32 to 64 gigabytes, you can just change the thing there. As you can see here, it's only like 3 little screws. You got all, it seems very easy to install. You got this guide pins that again, you cannot miss this one when installing. Again, seems pretty easy. And I think this is a huge win for everybody, because usually a lot of laptops come with the DDR soldered, so something happens to the memory, you screwed up because you cannot upgrade it, and for repair you have to go to a repair shop for them to desolder the memory, check which chips are okay or not, and hopefully everything goes well in the repair process there. But yeah, and the first laptop that is going to carry out this new DDR specification is the Lenovo ThinkPad, the P1. I think it's like the top end this is the 7th generation. Again, they again, the first AI ready mobile workstation. They do a lot of AI marketing there, which is, I suppose, the the new normal. But yeah, again, there is some more numbers. They boost their performance 7% for digital content creation workloads and improve productivity workloads by 15%. Again, this is based on PC Mark 10. Again, I don't use benchmark software. The only thing they have monitoring is the MSI Afterburner thingy that has the thing. It's the only thing sometimes that I use to have some reference point. But yeah, again, unlike soldered down memory, this memory is upgradable, sorry, allowing users to swap out the modules there. Yeah, basically it's good news. I just hope that it doesn't inflate too much in terms of the price of the products there. Probably will do a little bit there, here and there, but yeah, at least it's something that if starting to see some more huge adoption, I think the prices will stabilize a little bit, even though, again, I've covered this a few weeks ago regarding the memory chip market. We will start to see throughout the year some increases on the prices there. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt. Hopefully it will come a little bit more cheaper, given that this is basically a new technology. We've got a thing here. Sick of ads on Windows. Got a program here that basically eradicates everything. Again, this what it does after installing the program. Again, this is open software. There is a GitHub page there with the source code and everything, so everything is open, no kind of shenanigans. The program, of course, is free because it wants to remove. If you're making yourself telling that you're going to remove ads, but the program itself has ads, it loses the purpose there. But yeah, this one seems pretty good. It's what it does. It's tweaks some keys on the registry, so this can be disabled. And basically, you just install, you just check the ones that you want, and and you just restart the PC. So the changes take effect there. Supposedly there are other options. WinPilot also removes ads, and it's free of charge. Again, if you try this out, I will install after I do this video, because I was looking around the news. I didn't have time to do this. I will install and probably will give some feedback to see if it works or not, and if I got any kind of issues regarding stability. Or not, if everything goes well. I will probably give a feedback when I can regarding this program. But yeah, it's good to see that at least we can get rid of those ads on the main menus and the such there. And supposedly I don't use Edge. I use Chromium-based browsers, and I think Edge is just full of full page ads from time to time. I don't know. It's an annoyance there. People just want to get rid of ads. But then again, if you install this, and I'm not sure if they have here, if you can just support the people that do this kind of things with some donation here and there. I think it's very well earned, because they basically went and give themselves the trouble of removing ads for everybody. Regarding gaming industry, yeah, yesterday I started seeing on my Twitter feed, I think it was from Tango Gameworks. I think I followed their studio there on Twitter, and basically Bethesda Softworks closed a lot of studios, 4 of them to be precise. It was Arcane Austin, Alpha Dog Studios, Tango Gameworks, and Roundhouse Games. Again, this was bound to happen, well, because of the acquisitions that Microsoft has been doing this past few years. Yeah, it was bound to happen eventually, unfortunately. Even though again, this I will talk about this later, but yeah, consolidation after acquiring this kind of companies always happens. Unfortunately, it's not good news. I found it weird that oh my god, I forgot the name of the guy that founded Tango Gameworks. It was the same guy that started Resident Evil, Shinji Mikami, I think. He left Tango Gameworks last year, I think. Yeah, it was basically about to happen. Um, yeah, it's not good news. It's not good news. There is also some one of the head of the studios or creative director of one of the games that was impacted here. Got a gut punch. Sorry about that. I had to cough. I got my throat a little bit roughed up. Yeah. The studio's Arcane Austin was the one responsible for Redfall. Again, the Redfall by itself, it was a botch title. The concept seemed okayish. Got some hunters killing some vampires here and there, but I think at the time it was not made as an MMO, and in the middle of the development cycle, they just somebody higher up decided to turn it into a cooperative multiplayer thingy there, and of course, even at launch, people that play the game, by the lack of optimization and a lot of that stuff, the mechanics there were not there for to be a good or even serviceable co-op. And because the studio now is going to close, no more DLC and no more support, even though they say they're going to remain the servers online. And there is a way for the people that bought the hero downloadable content. So I think some DLC package or some version of the game was like a premium edition. There is a way to get around and getting a refund out of it. At least that's what they are saying there. But yeah, Redfall was a botched game there. I don't know, again, it's not understandable, but you can see the reasoning behind this decision. We got also AlphaDog Studios. Again, this I never heard of this studio, or even the Mighty Doom. I think it's a kind of a mobile game, so from Doom, I don't know, I never heard of this. We got the Tango Gameworks. Even though they say they are thankful for their contributions to Bethesda and players around the world, and the fact that they launched Hi-Fi Rush, given that even they said that it defied all the expectation that they had for this game, they just shut down the studio by itself. So it doesn't matter if you have a good one or not. I'm not sure what kind of game plans that they had behind the scenes for Tango Gameworks, but everything is cancelled. You might know them more for the Evil Within series, which was a very serviceable horror games. It was a duology. I do still recommend them when they are on sale here and there, and of course all the games that they worked on, they will remain for sale there, so you will find them in every platform that is available at this moment. And then finally we got Roundhouse Games. I think this was support studio. They will be joining ZeniMax Online Studios, so the guys that are doing the Elder Scrolls Online, and they will be helping out working on that game by itself. But yeah, there is also some small number of roles across select Bethesda publishing and corporate teams that will also be eliminated. Again, this is duplicated job. It's one of those things that it's the first things to go. Usually it's the publishing and corporate teams like HR and such there. Usually they go about out of the window because it's duplicated job positions. It doesn't serve any purpose basically in terms of the corporate structure there. Yeah, sad day. 4 studios went out of the window. You got here the Twitter thingies here that they published there from Arcane, Tango, and AlphaDog. Yeah, not good news, but again, let's see what comes up about. From Arcane, the Arcane Lyon still maintains the same from what I understand. They are developing a game. Everything is untouched there. It's just basically Arcane Austin. And I think Arcane Austin also did Prey. So Prey is a very good game, very underrated game for what it is. A very good immersive sim there. But yeah, more closures, and I see some rumblings there are going to be I don't know, maybe after the summer, something like that, more closures from Microsoft under the umbrella of the Microsoft Studio scheme there. Probably Bethesda. Yeah, Bethesda itself, they say they got excellent lineup. You got Fallout 76 content, you got Starfield Shattered Space, which is divisive to say the least. Fallout 76, I think it's a little bit better than it launched. Then you got Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which doesn't inspire me too much here. This is for Machine Games, the same guys that they usually we see Wolfenstein games from them. And then you got the Elder Scrolls Online, Golden Rune. I don't know. I never played Elder Scrolls Online, so I don't know how that game is. But yeah, it is what it is. In better news, we got the official announcement that The Witcher 3 REDKit official mod editor is to release on May 21st. Again, this is basically gives access to players, basically the kind of same kind of deep access that developers have to work on the vanilla game. So mod creators will have even better access to the tools to be able to improve the mods or even create new mods, and probably we'll see after this is launched in the upcoming months some announcements regarding like new expansions, kind of a thing there, mods equivalent to expansions like side missions. Again, we will see the usual stuff probably with skins and here and there and new characters, but I think the quest stuff is going to be very interesting to see what people can go about there, and I will assume that everything that at least the better ones will be very lore faithful in that sense, the same way that the Witcher games are. But yeah, good news here. Again, I will not touch this because I don't have any skill set regarding this. And last, in terms of news, we got Hades 2. Supposedly now it's top seller on Steam. I think I covered this yesterday. Yeah, I covered this yesterday. The fact that even the early access is pretty good and supposedly has more content than the first game has on its entirety, and it's still on early access. Again, they will improve. Supposedly at least the early access for Hades 2 is going to be throughout this year. I will assume almost a year or so in early access to fine-tune a lot of stuff, taking account the feedback, the same way they did with Hades, the original one. And the meantime they will probably launch like more content, like playable content, like some dungeons or something like that. But yeah, supposedly it's now a top selling. Again, I didn't know this. Valve's API only organizes best-selling games based on the amount of money they are earning, and it's not transparent about the number of copies sold. I think it was also always about the copies sold. I think it kind of makes more sense, mainly because you can have one game costing $10 and then another game costing $70. It just needs fewer copies, the $70 games, to be best selling in that sense, which is very interesting. Even though, for example, a $10 game selling like 1 million copies, while the $70 game doesn't need that much copies to reach the supposedly best selling. Even though it's selling less, it's considered best selling. I don't know, doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah, I think they should at least have an option to see by the copy sold, like even like an estimate of the copy sold. But yeah, it's performing very well in terms of people that bought in the early access. Again, I never recommend early access to anything because the early access terms doesn't the developers are not obliged to release a full version of the game itself. So anytime, if they choose so, they can just drop development and leave things as it is. But I don't think this is something that will happen with Hades 2, but you never know. But yeah, it's one of those things. That's why I usually don't recommend early access, mainly because there is no obligation for the developers to finish the game itself. But yeah, this one seems a promising one. If it is, at least it is at the same level of the first 80s, at least what we got from the early access. I think we are on a good track here for this game to be best-selling and probably be a runner-up for Game of the Year or something like that. But yeah, the art style is basically the same, but it seems more detailed, which is interesting. But yeah, at least we end up with some good news here. And to wrap up this episode, I will go about some gaming deals. We still have Dead Space Remake, 65% off. Again, it's not a huge recommendation at this moment in time. Again, the recordings that I've been making, there is some vertical stuttering. Again, this is engine's fault, the game engine fault. It's not very well optimized there. It's not about the hardware itself. It's the way they didn't finish optimizing this game. You got some vertical stuttering here and there, especially near doors when a level is to load in the background. It gives that stuttering there when it's loading assets, I suppose. But yeah, other than that, pretty fluid. Graphics are amazing so far. The gameplay feels the way I remember the first game, which was excellent at the time. But yeah, other than that, I can give it a pass here. $20, I think it's not a bad deal at this moment. What can I say? I didn't finish the game, so I cannot give a full or not recommendation of the game itself as it is. But yeah, you got some of those issues, especially on the vertical stuttering. But other games like The Invincible, again, this seems a pretty good one. I want to try this one out. 33% off. We got also Atomic Heart. It's still on sale, 55% off basically in every edition of the game. We got 80s, 60%, 66% off now. Again, I think this is a recommendation here if you like action, roguelike kind of games there. I think this is a good one to play with. Yeah, I'm a little bit distracted on the video stuff there. We got also Children of Morta. I usually recommend going about the complete edition because the price difference is not that much, and it's basically 75% off on the game itself. Again, roguelike kind of a thing, pixel graphic style and isometric view. Again, and the story seems pretty interesting. And lastly, on Steam, we got Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Again, the original trilogy with all the DLC included and improved graphics or remastered graphics in 4K Ultra HD, as they say there. Yeah, around $6, which is a good deal. Usually, I thought it was around $10 the Legendary Edition, but no, it's cheaper than I thought. I think this is a good deal here. I played at least the first two, if not mistaken, if I remember correctly. They were pretty competent at the time, at least when they came out. But at this price point, I think it's a good deal here. On GOG, we got Prey Digital Deluxe Edition. Again, this is a very excellent game, especially at this price point, $10. Again, I made a gameplay series on this one. Yeah, I recommend it. At this price point, I recommend it. And even if you are hesitant, you got the standard edition, which is even cheaper as a base game there. And as an immersive sim, is very, very, very competent and very underrated since it came out there. Got also No Man's Sky, 50% off. Again, this what I have to say here. The game improved a lot. They got more than 20 updates there included, which are basically expansion size kind of a thing there. I think it's 20 or something. It's not 40 for sure. But yeah, excellent game now for all intents and purposes. Probably I will try it out one of these days, I don't know. But yeah, it's a recommendation from everybody that played the game as it is. And lastly, we got Tomb Raider Game of the Year Edition. Again, $4 for the game. The Game of the Year Edition includes all the DLC associated with this game. And again, on GOG, there is no DRM stuff, shenanigans happening here. So again, and this game seems pretty good. I think this trilogy is a pretty good soft reboot of the franchise in the overall scheme of things. But yeah, basically is what I got for you today, guys. I will just wrap up with my Patreon plug. For extra support, the extra support is at this moment for me to get around getting a storage solution, for me to be able to get backups of stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.